What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, bringing you yet another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle today, and today's opponent is Jamie. And it looks like he's running a pretty hardcore, physically attacking team there, with his only special attacker being Greninja. And then he's got Tyranitar and Garchomp, which could potentially be his Mega Evolution, so I need to watch out for that in this match. On my side, I've got a couple of new pokes. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen Slowbro and my Tinsect Scizor at this point. Then I've also got a new Gliscor Espeon. I'm not sure if I've shown Infernape yet or not. And then Gengar, which you've seen in a couple battles. But yeah, that's that. I'm actually going to start off with Infernape in this battle. So let's just get right into this. And I'm thinking he's probably going to start off with either Tyranitar or Mamoswine. And, you know, probably try to set up rocks or something like that. So he's going to start off with his Mamoswine, and that's good because I have a type advantage here. And I end up going straight for the Fire Punch. I thought maybe he might try to switch, but either way, I figured he might be running a Focus Sash, so there's no point in me going for the close combat and lowering my defenses if he's just going to, you know, kill me off with Earthquake anyway. So he ends up going for the Stealth Rocks, and I'm okay with that. My team isn't terribly weak to them, so that's fine. Now he's going to go into his Talonflame, and I probably should have predicted that and went for a Thunder Punch, which would have killed this thing in one hit, but I don't. I end up getting a crit on a Fire Punch instead, and that does pretty, you know, good damage. So I'm like, alright, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So let's switch it out to Nightwing now, which is my new Gliscor. And yeah, he takes some damage from Stealth Rocks, but it's not too bad. He's not weak to it. And this Talonflame is going to go for the Roost, so I'm guessing that this is probably a Life Orb set with, you know, either Swords Dance or Bulk Up or something like that. But he actually ends up going for the Tailwind, which is strange. I have not seen that on a Talonflame. I could see how it could be useful, though. But nonetheless, I'm going to go for the Knockoff, and that's going to knock off his Life Orb. And now that I think about it, that actually could have been a bad move because, you know, Life Orb damage recoil racks up pretty nicely on Talonflame, so but otherwise, I guess it was an okay move. He's going to go back into his Mamoswine here, and I'm going to go right for the Toxic, assuming he might either switch or at the very least, you know, get the Toxic off on the Talonflame who just keeps trying to roost the damage off. He won't last very long, so Toxic does okay damage to this Mamoswine, you know, I guess, but he didn't have that much health left anyway, so I guess that was a good move on his part. So I go for the Protect just to make him take some damage. And there's not really too much he can do other than Ice Shard, so he's going to do that. And I'm physically defensive, so I take that actually really nicely considering, you know, it's 4 times super effective. And I just go for the knockoff there and, you know, take out the Mamoswine. So, and it turns out he was running a Focus Sash, so it was a good move by me earlier, you know, not going for the close combat right off the bat. So he's going to go into his Greninja now, and I'm like, oh crap, he's definitely going to go for the Ice Beam. But I'm just going to Protect, just, you know, see what he does. And it's, yeah, obviously he's going to go for the Ice Beam. So that's pretty, I don't know, pretty self-explanatory, pretty expected, you know. But it gives me an extra turn of Poison Heal damage too. So that's always nice. So now I'm going to switch out because I can't stay in. I'll get killed in one hit. And I need Gliscor for later. So I'm going to switch into Slowbro, who, albeit doesn't take, you know, special attacks very well. But once I get this Greninja out of the way, that'll be good news for both Slowbro and Gliscor, neither of which take special attacks very nicely. So I thought he might go for the Dark Pulse here, but it turns out that he doesn't do that, and he's actually going to switch out into his Breloom. And I get a Thunder Wave off, which is awesome that he switches into his Breloom here, because if he had a Poison Heal Breloom, you know, now his Toxic Orb will not activate, and he's paralyzed on top of that. So I go for the Ice Beam to see what he does. Thought maybe a Spore would be coming, but now he's going to go for the Seed Bomb, and it doesn't quite take me out. So, yeah, I'm going to switch out now because, yeah, I just am. I'm going to go into my Shady the Gengar, and take a little bit of Stealth Rock damage, of course. Not too bad. And he does switch out, so it was a good move by me, you know, to switch out and think maybe he might just try to save Breloom for later. And it turns out that Garchomp is going to be his Mega Evolution in this battle, so he's going to Mega Evolve. And that's not necessarily the best thing for my Gengar, because Gengar just really can't take physical hits very well, and I'm probably going to have to, you know, sacrifice Gengar to get a safe switch into something. So he goes for an Iron Head, And I'm thinking he might be, you know, predicting my substitute disable strategy here, so he might go for a different move this turn. So if that's the case, I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball, and, you know, get some decent damage off on him. But he doesn't do that. He just goes for the Iron Head, so it was a little bit of an over-prediction on my part. And that cost me Gengar. So, poor Shady. Poor Shady. I'm going to go into Slowbro here. And, yeah, this Slowbro also has Regenerator, so that's why I switched him in, just to switch him back out again, because he'll get some more recovery without having to go to Slack Off. So I'm going to bring in Nightwing here, and yeah, Garchomp's going to go for an Outrage, so he's going to be locked in now, and I don't really take that very nicely, you know, not as nicely as I would want to. Mega Garchomp's attack stat is just through the roof, though, so what we're going to do here is go for the Protect, and, you know, make him waste one of his Outrage turns. Get a little bit of Poison Heal damage back, and it turns out that this Outrage only lasts 2 turns. So that's awesome, because now he's confused. And I'm like, well, maybe he'll hit himself once at least. And no, he doesn't this time, so he goes for Outrage. So I'm like, ah, crap. Why did that have to happen? And yeah, Nightwing goes down to a second Outrage there. And that sucks. So I'm going to go into my Espeon, thinking maybe I can, you know, get a free Reflect Up here. I know I'm going to be faster than him, so I'll at the very least get the Reflect Up, but I might also be able to get an attack out if he doesn't hit with Outrage. And he's confused, but he doesn't hit himself. He goes for Outrage, and I'm like, that still might kill me, even with the Reflect Up, because of how low my defenses are. And Glow barely, and I mean barely, hangs on with 23 HP. But I'm able to get a Dazzling Gleam off. I probably should have done that on the first turn so that I didn't have to take so much damage. But I wasn't too confident that I would be able to kill it. So, yeah, that's that. Now, Talonflame is going to come in and go straight for the Roost. And I predicted he was going to do that, so instead of switching, I actually went for the Psyshock here. And this Espeon does have max special attack investment, and it does pretty good damage. So now he's going to go for the Brave Bird. And since I only have 23 HP, that's definitely going to kill me, even with the Reflect Up. The good news is we got Mega Garchomp out of the way, and we got the Reflect Up, you know, which, because of Light Clay, is going to be sticking around a while. So I'm in good shape here. This Talonflame cannot do anything to Slowbro whatsoever. Even if he has U-turn, which I don't think he does, and he doesn't, it wouldn't really do much. So he's going to have to go for a Brave Bird here, and that really doesn't do that much damage at all. He also lost his Life Orb, so that's cool. So it does even less damage, and it turns out that the recoil combined with the Rocky Helmet that I was holding ends up taking out Talonflame. I went for the Scald. I probably should have went for Slack Off to get my health back, but that's okay. You know, I knew it was going to be close, you know, with the recoil damage, but it turns out that I just wasted my turn, basically. So, alright, so Tyranitar is going to come in. He's going to outspeed me. He's going to go for the Crunch, and it does pretty good damage, but it doesn't kill me. And, you know, he has to take more damage from the Rocky Helmet. Meanwhile, I'll just go for the Scald. I'm trying to get a burn here. I know it's not going to do too much with, you know, the Sand Up and having his special attack buffed, or not special attack, special defense buffed because of that. But it actually does pretty good damage and also gets the burn off, so that's just perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to happen. And now, because he didn't get the defense drop from Crunch, I don't think he can kill me with another Crunch. So I'll have the opportunity to go for a Slack Off. And in a way, I got a little bit lucky there that I got a burn when I did, because, you know, it was just perfect timing. Normally it doesn't work that way for me, but that time it did. And yeah, I live with 10 HP after the Crunch, and I'm able to get a Slack Off off. And yeah, he's going to take more burn damage. And it's just not good news for this Tyranitar. This Tyranitar has no way to beat me now. He's pretty much useless. And he most likely, you know, Tyranitar doesn't really have any way to recover damage. So he's pretty much screwed on that end. So he's going to bring out Breloom now, who's paralyzed. And I end up going for a Slack Off, you know, just to basically get myself back up to full HP, because I was at pretty much half. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. So with the Sandstorm damage, this Breloom is definitely in the red zone, definitely, you know, able to be taken out by pretty much anything. And he's paralyzed, so Slowbro, of all things, is actually faster than him. And he's going to kill him with an Ice Beam. And yeah, that's that. So Breloom goes down. Breloom didn't really do anything in this battle. And yeah, neither did his Tyranitar, really. So he's going to bring Tyranitar back in now, and he pretty much can't do anything but crunch. And that's not going to do anything with the burn. So he does that. Maybe, you know, he gets a defense drop, and he does, which it's a little bit late for that, but the, you know, Rocky Helmet's going to kill him off here. So Tyranitar goes down. I think he might have one more Pokemon. I'm going to go for a Slack Off, figuring that Rocky Helmet this time is indeed going to kill him, and it does. So I'm able to get myself in back to full health and ready to take on who he's going to send out next, which is Greninja. And yeah, I kind of forgot about this thing, but he's going to go for a Surf. And again, I'm not sure why he didn't go for a Dark Pulse here. You know, it's kind of strange, but he might not have Dark Pulse. He might be running some kind of different set. But I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave here to paralyze this thing. Even if he ends up killing me, you know, having this thing paralyzed is essential because that pretty much just shuts down Greninja. He can't do much. You know, he's going to go for the Waterfall here, but there's not really anything that Greninja can do. So I can just continually just scald him if I wanted to. But since he goes for the Waterfall there, he actually takes damage from the Rocky Helmet, and I don't really want to switch out. You know, I don't want to waste, you know, a turn or just risk, you know, random crits or something crazy happening. I'd rather play it safe here and just stall him out. And, you know, there's really nothing he can do about it. He can't recover any damage, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go for another Scald here, and that finally takes Greninja out. And yeah, it took like 3 or 4 hits, but that is the end of that match. So it was a pretty good match overall. I had some things go my way there, you know, with the perfect burn timing and such, but it was overall, you know, a pretty good match. And I don't know if Scizor actually even got into the match at all. Now that I think about it, I don't know if he did. But yeah, pretty good match, like I said. So I don't know if Jamie has a YouTube channel or anything like that. I think this was just a random match, so I've been having a lot of those lately. I need to get back into taking some challenges from you guys, but that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Game on.